Hello, Carson. This is Mr. Thomas, and I'm going to go over Chapter 13, Exercise 79, Section B with you. You have 4 problems there in the B sector that you sent me, 1, 2, 3, and 4, that we need to redo. I saw you gave it the old college try, but let's see if we can clean it up a bit. So in the Section A, you did fine. We're going to improve upon what you did in Section B. Alright, so it asks us to use the picture at the right to find the following distances. I've drawn again the exact same points that are on your page, on page 79. And it's number 1 says, find the distance between points A and point B. So I have point A here in blue and point B in green. I'm going to draw a right triangle because we're trying to find that distance, right? As you know. So at first it was hard for me to figure out where the right triangle was, but then I realized that a right triangle needs a perpendicular line, right? So this one cannot be a perpendicular line, and it's also the thing we're looking for as the distance, and we know that that distance is going to be the hypotenuse. So I see right here that if I put a point right there, we'll call that point E, and I draw a line from point B to point E, I will have a straight line. And if I complete the triangle from E to A, you'll notice that it makes a perfect right triangle. 2 perpendicular lines, I'm good to go. So I'm going to draw my little dot there. Okay, now the next thing, we know that we're looking for the distance, which is this section right here. We also know that in a right triangle, the longest leg is called the hypotenuse. So we're looking for what C is, right? We also know that in a right triangle, the shortest leg is A, and the medium leg is B, all right? And we're trying to figure out how to apply A, B, and C to the quadratic formula, which is A squared plus B squared equals C squared. And once we find out what C squared is, we can obviously solve it out to find out what the distance is here for C. All right, so I need to find the length of A, and I notice that A goes from -1 to -2, right? From -1 here to -2. Well, that's just a move of 1, right? That's 1. So my A is 1, therefore my A squared has to be 1 squared. And now I look at my B. My B value is 1, 2, 3 blocks, right? It's from -1 to 0, the line 0, and then it's from 0 to 1, that's 2, and then from 1 to 2 to get to B, that's 3. So that's 3 spots, right? So B has a length of 3, A has a length of 1. So 1 plus 3 squared equals C squared. 1 plus 9 equals C squared. To get rid, 1 plus 9 is 10. C squared, I'm going to write it on the side over here. 10 equals C squared. Now all I have to do to get rid of the squared is to give it the square root, which cancels it out. And what I do to one side, I do to the other. So therefore, your C value is worth rad 10. And there you go. The distance from A to B is rad 10. Okay, so I think the only issue you're having here is drawing the triangles. I saw you try to draw the triangle upside down. I think that would have worked too, but it's easier to find the straightest path between the 2 points. So let's see if we can do it for the other ones, all right? So we got that one. Now we need to find the distance between points B and C. Let's see if we can do that. All right, give me a second to erase all this. All right, and now we need to delete points E. Okay, so now we need to find the distance between point B and C. Point B and C are up here, between point B and C. So I'm trying to figure out how I can draw a straight line here to make a triangle. If I know this is the hypotenuse, oh, there it is. It took me a second, it's up here, right? because I can draw from here to there. That would give me a line. And then from here to there, that would give me the other line. And then there is my perpendicular angle. So there's my right triangle. So this would be my C. Oh, it kind of tells you where it should be, right? The hypotenuse is always opposite of the right angle. Actually, you could also do this one right here. Let me draw another point. Hold on. If I drew a point F here, this could also work. That's the other triangle. You see it there, right? Either way is going to work for you. Actually, let's do it that way. It seems to be more clear. Okay, so there is my hypotenuse, there is my A, and there is my B. So I do the same thing. I count to see how many A is worth, and just worth 1. It's from 2 to 3. B is worth 1, 2, 3. It's from -2 to 1. No, it's the same thing again. And then we're just going to plug it in to A squared plus B squared equals C squared. A is 1. 1 squared plus B squared, which is 3 squared, equals C squared. 1 plus 3 squared is 9. It's the same exact problem. Rad C squared, rad 10, C, and rad 10. So I think they're all going to be rad 10 because they look equidistant, but that's basically how you find your triangles. All right, try to finish 3 and 4. Remember to find your right angles first, and then draw your triangle around it. If you have any questions, let me know.